Welcome back, Frontier fam, to episode 2 of the Mars Project. Today is kind of an easy thing, and I probably won't do a live look at the end because that might spoil some stuff that I've already worked on. But fear not, the next episode should be out shortly after. I'm not going to make y'all wait too long for it. But also, if you want to be spoiled, come over to twitch.tv/ShinySpacecraft, where we're going to be building live on Tuesday, which is great. So by the time this video comes out, that should be tomorrow. We're just going to work on some shops and things like that, or whatever we feel like it. Who knows these days? Okay, right now in front of your face, we are doing a lot of foliage, filling out some areas. It's a lot of layering, so just layer your foliage. I'm using foliage from all around, not really focusing on a particular area. I'm just using what looks good. If you want to go for more realism, I do recommend doing some research and using those tags that help you understand which biome and continent they go with. And then we're also doing some rock placing, and once again, I use a variety of rocks. I know in a geological perspective, rocks tend to have layers kind of declaring what point in time they are and what was going on in the earth around that point in time. I'm not doing that. I might try to do it in the future though. It sounds like a lot of fun just to do some layers, maybe base it off of an actual geological structure in the earth, something famous. I don't know. Throw your famous geological structures at me. We'll see if we can do them in the game. Not in this park probably, but somewhere in the game. Challenge accepted. Yeah, so we're working on some safe havens for the flamingos to kind of get to so they don't get tired swimming around, because it's quite a bit of water. And then I did end up adding hippos. I tried out a bunch of different type of animals, but they were getting injured or they just didn't like it. They weren't happy. And I know it's Sandbox and I do have a lot of the welfare things checked, so I don't have to worry about them dying. But if, when I'm done with this, I plan on putting this park on the workshop. And if you want to play it in kind of a different setting, or I don't want to have problems. But here we see more of the layering. I did really kind of want to show you how I did it. I use the elephant grass as just some tall grasses that maybe aren't so tall, throw some little rocks in it. I use a lot of the trees to create big bushes. I think that's just a popular thing to do. We do need to go around and add some lighting, but I think I'm gonna save that for last so that I get an idea of the space and where the other lighting is, like the more fancy lighting, the architectural artsy lighting, and then we can do path lighting. And then moving on over to one of the flamingo feeding stations, I once again kind of patched in some rocks. I did purposely want it to look man-made, like they had brought these rocks in and just kind of scattered them around. There's no purpose behind it, really. Just a bunch of different colors, which I think looks really good. And it once the foliage is in. Once the foliage is in. By themselves, it looks kind of weird. I threw in some of the new trees. I really like them. I like how pretty they are. They don't really fit this habitat, but I wanted to go ahead and put them in because the Welcome Center is supposed to be a teaser of what you're going to find in the other areas. So it's not all one theme, it's many themes. You're kind of getting glimpses of what you're going to find as you walk through the whole complex, which is pretty cool. I think it was a smart idea to do that. And of course, I'm just at this point putting way more foliage, just so much foliage. The flamingos actually hate this foliage so much because there's too much of it. There's too much, but I really need it to look lush because if not, it looks bland. It's a very fine line, and I would rather go over the top with the foliage than not enough. Not gonna lie to you. I did play around with some different lighting options. There's one you don't see off camera that's just some like fairy lights in a tree. It's okay, but I think I like this idea more. Just to kind of throw some bulbs in. I'm still not sure about it. I might end up taking it out. It feels kind of out of place. Either way, we gotta figure out the lighting in this place. I'm determined to finish this Welcome Center as soon as possible and just move on to the next thing. I already have some stuff built up for the next dome because it was in my previous iteration of the Mars Project that, oh boy, that was a mess. But either way, so I've already kind of laid out some of that on stream. We're gonna play with it and tweak it and just kind of get it to where we really want it to be before I really do anything with that dome. Just kind of what we did with this one, really. A lot of the stuff in this one has just progressed and changed over time, which proud of. And I have enjoyed streaming it because I get that feedback that you don't get to whenever you're just kind of building by yourself, listening to a podcast, or, you know, watching The Expanse or Outlander for the 10th time. It's fine. The feedback I've gotten during streams, though, have been very helpful, like adding some circles on the path where we have the congestion. Like, it's a very obvious answer, but it just didn't come to my brain. My brain was like, no, it's a natural path, it has to go around. No, girl, add some circles. What are you doing? You know? It's a lot of fun though. So we're doing some more of the log things. I don't rafts. Is that what they would be called? Doing some more log rafts. I don't think I show all of it. What you're really getting are just kind of snippets, because this stuff takes me hours and hours to do. Like, every episode probably took me a couple of hours, because I do sit there and think about it really hard, and I try out a bunch of different things before I get to the one that I like the most. So you're kind of getting the spark notes, really. But whenever it all comes together, it looks amazing in the end. I mean, I don't know how many series you've watched of Planet Zoo from other creators, but it's kind of the same process. You start off and you're like, wow, that looks really good. And maybe they do something questionable where you're like, but then in the end, it looks absolutely fantastic. Once you start adding all of the art and decorations and foliage and pathway, just everything. It's a bunch of individual pieces coming together like a custom puzzle. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a lot of fun though. I think that's why I really enjoy these types of games. It's kind of that problem solving while also still being creative, of course. I've never been big on painting or hand drawing. I like digital art. I don't do it enough though. But this is kind of my art. This is what I do. I play creative games where I can get in there and kind of paint with objects that somebody else has made. Maybe one day I'll be the one making the objects, and then we can get a different perspective on how it's made. Maybe I won't even like playing the game anymore. I just want to make the objects for the game and see what other people do with them. That would be so satisfying. Is that satisfying? Is there anybody out there that is a game developer or creative person who does the video games that can answer that question? Is it more satisfying to play the game or to create the pieces and art for the game? You know? Or program it, or whatever it may be. Okay, we're about halfway through the speed build, so I'm gonna leave you here and let you just chill out or skip ahead. I'll put the timestamps down in the description, and then I'll meet you guys back, hopefully for a brief live view. Okay, here we are. I'm just gonna point out a few things and then we'll end the episode. One of those being those light pictures up there, and then a lot of the foliage that we did. This is just kind of what it looks like all together. Here you can see the circle paths that I talked about before. We've got a few of those now. Down here, the foliage really paid off. The lush foliage, I think we absolutely need more. And whenever we get the path lighting, it's gonna look absolutely beautiful. The walls need something, or we need some more trees, or I have no idea what to do with those, but we'll figure it out as we go. The last thing I really wanted to talk about was the lighting. This is what the spheres look like. I think they're absolutely beautiful, but I don't think it's realistic to be able to do that along the whole pathway. That was the other tree with the fairy lights in it, and then I have some other kind of weird lighting here and there that looks like it needs to be fixed. This though is very bright at night, so I think I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit. During the day, those spotlights are perfect to light up that pathway, but at night, it's kind of insane. But I think this is where I'm gonna leave y'all today. Like I said, the new episode should be out shortly. I recorded them all at once, and I'm about to edit the second one. So, and also come by the Twitch and hang out, and maybe we can name some animals after you. Well, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.